So hi everyone, this is Justin here from the Achievement Squad, coming at you with a collectible and missable achievement guide for the title Deliver Us to the Moon. So there are a total of 62 collectibles in the game. The types of collectibles you're going to find are audio logs, they are holograms, scannable items and comic books. So they're pretty much scattered throughout every single chapter. There's a grand total of 6 chapters or so. And the actual collectibles, for the majority of them, with the exception of the comic books, will reveal a decent amount of the story and kind of what's going on and what's going on in the game itself. Overall, this is a very well written game and it's very well put together. It reminds me very much of games like the Turing Test, as well as things like Dead Space, just without the scary aliens that are chasing you around everywhere. But overall, it's a very well constructed game and I very much enjoyed playing it, and I recommend that you guys also give it a shot too. But yeah, from this point onwards, I am now going to show you the location of all collectibles and missable achievements. Okay, so collectible number 1 is pretty much straight to your left and next to your cereal bowl the moment you spawn into the game. Now it's worth noting, in this I did experience a bit of a bug with the comic book collectibles. Just try to avoid the level select function. For some reason it resets the counter against the comic books and you have to read them. So when you pick them up, inspect them and then press the button further to read them. Collectible number 2 is your first scannable item of the game. So the moment you're outside and you've got your spacesuit on, take a right and head down the stairs and you'll be able to scan the satellite dish that is directly in front of you. Now from this satellite dish you want to go around to the other side and you're going to see some trailers on your left. It's the second trailer that you want to go into, the one with the door that's open and swinging. Take a left once you get into the inside and you want to press the scan button on this kind of open cabinet just here. And now our second scannable is pretty much just outside, so take a right and you're going to walk over to this one and give it a quick scan. Okay, so now for our first missable achievement. So we've progressed a little bit further forward and we've kind of gone up into the main office area. And as you come into this place, you want to enter the building and you're going to take a right and you want to follow this corridor all the way down to the end. And as you come into this room just here, you want to take a left and go down the stairs. Don't walk into the railing like I do. Continue through into the next room and then continue across again into the next room after that. And in the right hand corner, you're going to see a globe and you want to keep pressing X on it until you get an achievement. Okay, now that you've got that song by Pete Burns now stuck in your head, you want to turn around and your next collectible is just kind of behind you. So from the globe, we want to spin it around. This is collectible number 5. It's also a scannable item. So turn around to the left and you're going to see this whiteboard just here and we want to scan this one. So the next collectible is in the room to the left of the whiteboard. So pretty much from the whiteboard itself, look to the left and you're going to see this little kind of dome shaped little unit on the desk. Give that one a scan and that's going to get your next collectible. Next up is our first audio log. So from that AES unit, you want to turn around and you want to go into this room just here. And as you come into this room, you're going to see a set of stairs that are on the end that can be moved. You want to move them to the left and you want to go through the door that is just behind them. On your left hand side, there's a set of stairs. You want to make your way up to the very top of those stairs. And as you get to the top, you'll notice this kind of squiggly line covering a door just over in the distance in the back right of the room. Walk through this. This is an audio log. Now that you have that audio log, your next collectible is in Claire's office, which is the same room you just walked into. It's the rocket in the back left-hand corner of the room. Okay, so we're now on our next missable achievement, and you're going to be sprinting to the rocket here. So once you've set up the rocket for flight, you're going to get this countdown that's going to appear in the top, and you're going to need to run to the rocket. So exit out of the building, you want to start making your way through the middle section. You want to head up the stairs and you're going to take a right and then you're going to take a left, and then at the end of that left turn you're going to find a lift, and you're going to want to take that lift up to the next platform. Now the aim behind this achievement is just to kind of get there just in time to board the rocket just before the timer is up. I think the rule is 5 seconds, so that's what I aimed for. So once the lift is at the top, get out, press the button just to open it up, and I apologise for the cut here. But you want to kind of hover by these doors that are open, and you want to wait till the seconds are down to 5, and you pretty much just want to run forward and get onto that ladder.
Navigation systems online.
And we're now going to go for the Houston We Have a Problem achievement. So the aim behind this achievement is to fail launching off the planet 5 times in a row. It's quite straightforward to do. Now the first thing you must do is you want to hit the 3 switches that are directly in front of you. They've got the little red lights above them. The panel on the left is what gives you the instructions on how to get off the planet, but pretty much you need to fail this 5 times. You can do it in 5 different ways at different points. But pretty much just stay put and wait for the countdown to run out eventually. So it takes a few minutes to appear on the screen. But when the countdown is over, a sandstorm is going to come through and it's going to prevent you from launching the rocket into space. You need to do this 5 times. So fail to launch the rocket 5 times and you'll bag yourself the achievement for not following your training.
Rocket navigation systems online. We're nearly there. Just like your training, you can do this. Initiate launch procedure.
Okay, so now we're in chapter 2 and we're pretty much now in 0 gravity. It's a little bit tricky to control, however it's pretty straightforward, a little bit of practice. From the main cockpit you want to turn it around, and behind you you are going to see kind of like an airlock. Now before, go through towards that airlock and you want to hit the button that is on the left hand side. This is going to start to drain the oxygen that's around you as well. But you will kind of move forward into this area. You want to look up and out, and then you can scan the radar dish that is outside of the shuttle. And for our next missable achievement, this is the Gasping for Air achievement. So from that collectible, you want to kind of turn around and look to your right. So you're going to find this power cell that is just in front of you. You want to grab this one. Now this achievement can be done at any point. However, I just choose to get it now because it's easier. And you want to enter the door that is to your left. And you want to keep taking this power cell across to the circle on the wall. Paste the power cell in, and you want to fly forward. This little yellow canister is an oxygen canister, and it refills your oxygen. State the obvious. But the aim behind this achievement is that you need to run down your oxygen bar as low as possible. I ran mine down to 1 second specifically. Once that's happened, you need to pick up the oxygen tank to prevent yourself from dying. So let this run down as low as possible, grab the oxygen tank, and you should bag yourself the achievement. Do it on the last second, it's easier. Okay, so once you've got your life systems back online, from that console that's just kind of in front of you, you're pretty much a tunnel that is just ahead. It's down in the floor. So you want to look down into that tunnel and you want to proceed downwards. And you want to make it all the way down to the bottom. And then as you kind of come through, you want to straighten yourself up. So look upwards. You're going to see another audio log directly in front of you. Just fly through it to pick it up.
Expedition team, do you copy?
Copy, Control. We're all set. Ready?
And straight after that audio log, you want to fly into this kind of elevator style thing that's in front of you, which we'll use later to get down to the moon's surface. On the right hand side you're going to find a yellow poster. You want to give this one a scan for the next collectible. Okay, so now we're going to go after our next audio log. So turning to the right from that poster, you want to fly out the door that is red, and you're going to be directly in front of the Pyrus door. As you exit, you want to take a left, and you want to keep following it around until you get to the Libra door. And you want to enter that tunnel, and you want to fly all the way up to the top, I think. When you're at the top, you want to straighten up the character by pressing the right or left bumper, or L1 or R1 if you're on PlayStation. Take a right and you want to enter this broken door for the sleeping quarters, and there is the audio log on your left.
There you go, buddy. Almost there.
And now for our next two collectibles and missable achievement. From here you want to turn around, and you want to go through the doorway. And on the left hand side you're going to see one of the comics that is just floating in space. You want to inspect that one and you want to give it a quick read. And once you've done that, you want to drop the comic down, and then to your right hand side you're going to find the next scannable item. And from that scannable item, look to your left and you're going to see a telescope. You want to have a look out at that one and just keep looking out until a teddy bear flies by and an achievement pops. So we've progressed significantly further in the actual level, and we're in the Orion area, which is an area that is under construction. You get the passcodes from Sarah's room to get into here. You want to start off by making your way over to this chair, and the aim of this achievement is to get the chair out of the airlock. So you want to keep knocking it into this room. I do an absolutely terrible job of moving it. However, keep pushing the chair along, and eventually it's going to go into the room in front of you. Apologies for the terrible job of doing this. So once it's into the room, we're going to actually need to use the console that is on the right hand side of the room, because the airlock won't open straight away. So once the chair is in, go inspect the computer on the right hand side. And you'll want to use the laser that it gives you to cut the yellow things off of the airlock. So you want to press the right trigger, and that's going to trigger out the laser beam. This will actually shut off the these yellow kind of clamps that are on the door. So do that and get rid of all 4 of them. Once that's all switched off, you want to make sure that your chair is in position, and don't try and just fly through the door like I do. I think I was having a bit of a hard time at this point. There's actually a button to the left of the door that you need to hit. So press the button, and that's going to open up the airlock, and it's going to close the door behind you. And then you want to push this chair out of the airlock. For me, for some reason, it's kind of moved away, or kind of gone dark completely for me. But push the chair out of the door. I had a real hard time with this, sorry guys. But keep pushing it out, and eventually you'll get the achievement for moving the chair outside of the airlock. Okay, so the next collectible is pretty much straight after this. So once this is done, you'll make it to the end of the corridor, and the first thing you're going to see is unmissable, but there's an audio log directly in front of you. Fly through it to pick it up.
Assembling section 3C now.
Copy that.
And we're on to our next scannable item. So from that audio log, you want to fly into this storage room. You want to take a right, and you want to go past the stuff that's kind of in front of you. And you'll keep following it around to the left, and keep following it further to the left. It's a little bit of a maze, not too bad. Go under the fallen shelf, and on the end of there, you take a right. And as you keep following it around, you're going to see this Orion panel that is hanging off the wall, or Orion panel, and you want to give that one a scan. Okay, so we are in the next chapter now, and we are going to go after our next audio log, and you can see a hologram in front of you as well, which we'll get in a bit, but this is pretty much from the area where you spawn in. You take a right, and you want to follow the pathway around. Take a left at the end of the desk, and you're going to see the audio log directly in front of you.
Hello? Hello?
Our next scannable item is in a room nearby, so by the audio log you pretty much walk forward, and you go through the second door that is open. You want to enter this room, and there is a like a bunk bed that is covered in bunting. You want to give this one a quick scan. So now we're going to go after our first hologram in the game, and just to be open with you guys, there's a bit of a spoiler warning here. You want to exit out of this room, and you want to follow the corridor to the right. At the end, take a left, and you want to keep going forward until you eventually reach this door. Enter this door here, and then the second door on the left, third door on the left, you want to enter this room. And you want to make your way to the back desk, and you're going to see this little circular robot here, and you want to interact with that, and that's going to trip the hologram. I'm going to cut these short so you guys don't have to watch them in my video, but you have to play these all the way through to the end to secure your achievement. Okay, so this collectible is quite a bit further on. This is after you've repaired the AES robot and you've restored power to the maintenance bay. You want to make your way behind the robot repair bench, and as you enter this room on the right hand side, you are going to see not the globe that I pick up, but there is another hologram here. You want to press X and watch, and the robot will start that hologram playback for you.
This is Isaac. Hi. I'm not... Goodbye, Claire.
From that hologram, we're going to go get our next scannable item. So we want to exit out of the room, and you want to take you want to go underneath the stairs. And to the left-hand side of the door, you're going to find a scannable height chart. Okay, so now on to the next collectible, and we're going to use our little robot friend to give us a bit of a hand here. So whilst you're outside the door, press Y and you'll take control of the robot, and you need him to zap the yellow thing that is in the top right hand corner by the door. That is going to open up the pathway into the next room, and as you enter here, you want to go straight through the door, and you're going to grab an audio log automatically along the way. And from that audio log we can get our next scannable item. So we want to make our way into this room, but we want to take a left, and we're going to follow the pathway down to the end, and we're going to see a big rock in front of us. You're going to want to give this one a scan. Okay, so now we're going to go get our next hologram. So from that big rock, or the memorial, do a 180-degree turn, and you want to start making your way back to this kind of circle part of the room. Hang a left, and then kind of walk towards this very dark area here. You'll find some stairs that are very well concealed, and at the top of the stairs you're going to find another hologram for you to watch.
Hold up. Do you see the people down there? They will be the start of a new where it begins.
Now that that hologram is over, we want to turn around and we want to make our way down the stairs. And we're going to have to solve a bit of a puzzle first of all. It's not particularly hard, but at the bottom of the stairs, take a left and you want to go into this kind of circle area. Make your way across the other side and you're going to find a power cell. You want to pick up that power cell from the wall. That will close the maintenance door, but turn around 180 and you want to make your way across the other side and you want to plug that into backup power, and that's also going to open up the crew quarters for you. Once that's opened up, you want to make your way in, and as you come into this area, you want to take a right and then an immediate left. In the corridor to your left now, you will find a chair that is on the floor that you need to scan. And now for our next comic. So now this is just in the room after the chair that we've just scanned on the floor. The actual comic is in the rooms on the right hand side, so we will make our way down, and it's in the sleeping quarters just here, and it's on the desk just in front of you. Don't forget to read it. And then from this comic book, we're going to go after our next scannable item. So you want to exit out of the bedrooms and you want to make your way down the stairs just here. On the right hand side and then to the left, there are a set of scannable beds that you can scan for your next scannable collectible. From these beds, you want to go back up the stairs, but this time we're going to take a right and go up the top, and we're going to grab the audio log that is directly in front of us. If you've been following along, also at the same time, you're going to bag yourself an achievement for building these dossiers.
Everything's deserted, so nothing new here.
Sarah, Rolf, this is Pearson Control. Our time's running out. Take the elevator back up here to make it in time for evacuation. You've got 2 minutes.
Negative, Control. MPT network is...
Now eventually you're going to come into this room and we're going to get ourselves another missable achievement. So in this room there's this kind of electric shock turret that's in the middle. When you come in line with it, it's going to glow red and it's going to shoot electricity at you and stun you. So holding down your left stick and your left trigger, you want to sprint between the different pillars that are in this area to avoid getting shot. If you get shot, just die by letting it shock you one more time and you can reset the counter. But if this thing is to shock you in the middle, it's going to cost you your achievement. The aim is to make it through the area without getting zapped. So keep following the pathway around, using the pillars for cover, and eventually you can go into the room just here. And once you're on the other side, you want to pull out the battery that's charging up this robot that wants to shock you. This will bag you the achievement for getting through that area without getting shocked. Okay, so now we're on the moon in a moon buggy. It takes a little while to get here, but this is part of the main story. You'll have to come out here eventually. Drive out the moon buggy and you'll follow the tracks that are on the left, and about after about 3 or 4 seconds of driving along, you want to kind of go underneath the track in the dip area. And you want to drive over the top of the hills, and you want to come up on these kind of green panels on the left hand side just here. I believe this is the moon landing site, or supposed to be. But anyway, as you turn into this area, you'll kind of want to park up and you'll bag yourself an achievement for finding this landing site. Now, for the longest achievement in the game, we now have to spend 30 minutes outside in space. So park up your car and go get yourself a beer. Just keep your control pad alive. It's going to take about 30 minutes and you'll bag yourself the achievement Stargazer for being outside on the moon's surface for 30 minutes. Okay, so once you've restored power to the main area, you'll be back into this room and you've hit the console to switch it on. Once you've hit that console, you want to kind of exit out to the left and you're going to find another hologram. So this is kind of the area where you scanned the rock from earlier. And you want to hit X on it and you're going to watch the next hologram story piece play out. And once you're done with this one, we want to turn around and we want to make our way back to the buggy room. So turn around 180 degrees and you want to walk around the circular room. And as you get to the other side, you want to go through the door. And as you go through the door, we're going to go up the right-hand set of stairs when the door opens eventually. And at the top of the stairs, you're going to find your next hologram.
What was that speech all about? MacArthur can't decide this on his own now, can he?
Look, we don't call the shots here, okay? I'm done talking. Just give me a hand.
Okay, and for your final audio log of this chapter, it's pretty much a case of getting on the train, and as you get on the train, you want to make a left and walk all the way down to the end of the carriage, and there is going to be pretty much a seat your character will sit in, and you will progress forward. You'll automatically pick this collectible up every single time as you exit the level, however I'm just showing it to you anyway, and at the same time you'll bag yourself the story related achievement for progressing through chapter 3.
This is Sarah Baker, lead engineer at Pearson Space Station. I was sent to a...
So now we are in chapter 4 and we need to exit out of the train that we were just previously riding in. So exit out to the left and you're going to head to the left and there's some stairs that are just in front of you. Head down these and you're going to find your first hologram of this level.
All Copernicus 1 colonists, this is an evacuation. The reactor at Tombow has suffered a critical...
So from this hologram, we are now going to go after our next audio log. So walk past this blue figure just here. And at the end of the corridor, you want to take a right to find the audio log.
This is Pearson Station engineer Sarah Baker.
And our next scannable item. So you make your way across the ladder and you want to push X to climb down. When you're at the bottom of the ladder, you want to do a 180-degree turn, and you're going to look to the back right-hand corner. And you want to make your way across to that back right-hand corner, and you're going to find a tire that is just on the floor. Give that one a scan, and that is this next collectible. Once you've got that collectible, you want to turn around, and we're going to make our way back to the ladder, and we're going to go after our next comic. So head back to the ladder and climb on up. Once you're at the top of the ladder, we want to take a left and then another left. Keep making your way straight forward and there's a door directly in front of you. And then you need to click on the actual panel that's on the side and enter the code 1881 and that's going to open the door. Once that door's open, you want to go ahead on it inside and to your right and between the bunk beds you're going to find your next comic. And we are now on to our next scannable item. So from that comic, you want to head back out through the door you just came in. And on the left hand side, the stairs that you previously used to enter this area. Make your way up and you want to head over to this console and you want to push X on it and type in 1881 again. And that is going to open the door that is on your left hand side. So click open the monorail door. Takes a few seconds. And once that's done, we're going to go into the room on the left. And as you enter this room, you're going to find these canisters on the floor. Give them a scan, and this is the next collectible. And from these canisters on the floor, we want to then turn to the right, and this is kind of part of the progress of the main story. Make your way up to the top of the stairs, and you're going to come across your next hologram that you're going to want to watch.
Evacuation crew to MacArthur. Helium package and Copernicus...
Now, before you can get this collectible, you need to solve the puzzle using the AES little robot outside first of all. Once you've solved that puzzle, you'll be able to exit out and go to the airlock. And behind the puzzle that you would have just solved, so make your way around and go to the left, you're going to find some broken wires that can be scanned. Okay, so once the next monorail ride is over, I think, you want to make your way forward and you're going to go across eventually a spacesuit that is in the kind of container just here, and you want to give that one a scan. And now we're going to go on to our next missable achievement. So from here, you want to look to your right, and you're going to find the panel that you can kind of use your lasers to blast the clips off the wall. And you're going to open up a door, and then on the right hand side, you're going to find a ladder that you're going to need to climb up. Once you're at the top of that ladder, you need to blow the panel beneath you away. Also pick up any oxygen you might need along the route as well. So you want to hit the laser and you want to pop off this panel, and you want to drop down into the room below. And once you're in this room, you want to remove the dead battery from the ASE system. And you're going to put it down behind you, and to the left you're going to find a fresh battery that you're going to want to pick up and insert to where the old battery was. Now you need to keep hold of this red battery for the remainder of most of the level. It's kind of like the companion cube from Portal, a little bit of a nod and tribute there, but pick up that red canister and it's going to pretty much come everywhere with you. Now the next collectible is in the room after you've got past the electric wall. On the left hand side you're going to find a comic that is just directly in front of you. So put down your battery and pick up the comic. And then from that comic you want to look to your right, and you want to make your way up to the stairs, and on the left hand side you're going to find your next scannable item. It's a tea party. And then from that tea party take a left and you're going to find your next hologram to watch.
Any word from Eve?
Now from that hologram, and make sure you don't leave behind your dead battery, you want to take a right and go past the tea party, and you want to make your way up the stairs into this room, and you want to keep going across into the control center. And as you enter this room, you're going to see two things that can be scanned and watched. So just to the left of the hologram, you're going to find a scannable whiteboard, and then to the right of that you will find, as you've already seen, the next hologram.
Hey! Hey, you there! A malfunction has occurred.
Now from that hologram and that whiteboard, you want to turn around to your left and 180 pretty much, or near enough. And you want to exit out the door on the left hand side. You're going to go through an airlock, so put down your battery and hit the button. And then pick up your battery again and make your way down the stairs. And then at the bottom of the stairs, just to your left, you are going to find the next hologram for you to watch. Now I find this one slightly tricky to actually get this achievement, but pick up your dead battery. We're going to actually utilize a moon buggy. So just to our left, I will show you quickly. There is a moon buggy just here. We're going to need to use this and the battery in conjunction, and the idea is that we're going to destroy this battery in the same way we destroyed the companion cube. You're going to need to drop the battery out of the actual hole in the floor. It's going to fall down. That can actually be quite fiddly to do. Once you've done that, you want to get over to the buggy, and you want to press X on it, and you're going to get lowered into the hole down to the bottom. And now, once you're on the moon's surface, you want to push X to get out, and we're going to pick up our dead batteries. You can see it on the floor just behind us to the right. So get out of the actual buggy, pick up this battery, and look to the tower on the right, and you want to run all the way down to that tower. And we're going to drop the battery off over there, and then we're going to need to run all the way back to the buggy once we've done it. Now place the battery by the buggy pressure plate for this achievement. And once you've put that down, you want to run all the way back to your buggy again. And now that you're in the buggy, we want to head to the blue waypoint on the left hand side. So press the right trigger and drive that buggy forwards. Make your way over to that tower. Once you're there, park up on the pressure plates and you want to push X to get out of the buggy. And then you want to head inside the building. So make your way around the car, enter the building, and then you want to hit the button for the airlock on the right hand side. Just to stabilize the room. And as you enter this room, you want to switch over to your little robot. Whilst you've got control of the robot, there is a door on the left that is partially open. You want to fly him underneath this. And then you want to zap the yellow switch on the wall, and that's going to open the door. And once you've done that, we want to enter the door that we've just now opened, and on the right hand side we're going to find a ladder we can climb all the way to the top. And at the top you want to hit the airlock button on the left hand side so you can get out. And then when you're outside you want to make your way to the left and you want to climb up the staircase just here. Now if you've been playing on the game you would have done this already kind of earlier when you were on the other space section. But keep making your way up to the top. And when you're at the top there's going to be a ladder for you to climb up. And once you're at the top, you're going to see these heat blasts that are coming out, and you need to navigate your way past them. So watch out for the heat blasts, as they can kill you, as you sort of see going on my screen, but I just about make it. But follow this around to the other end, and eventually you will hit another ladder. And when you're at the top, you want to follow the path around till you reach a chair. And you're going to get into this chair and you're going to be in control of the satellite beam. Once you reach the top, there's a screen you can interact with. Once you're in control, you need to point this satellite at the tower to the left. So rotate this around. It's not the first one that you'll cross, it is the second one. And once it's pointed at it correctly, you want to push the X button to connect. So not the one that I'm trying to connect to. I have to move it a bit further to the left. It's the wrong one. It's out of range. But point it at the one on the left, and you want to push X on it once the icon turns yellow, and you're automatically going to get teleported back to the buggy. Now we're on a very tight timer for this piece. So once the little cutscene's over, you want to exit out, you want to get into the buggy, and then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn around and we're going to go to the tower we just pointed the laser at. As it's about to collapse, we need to do this quickly and you only have 3 minutes to do it. So start driving your way across to the tower, and once you get to the tower you want to park your car on the panels that are in front of it to open the door, allowing you to get in. one thing we want to check before we go in, we want to make sure that this battery is in the right place. So if it's not, pick it up and you want to move it behind the car. So pick up the battery, drop it off behind the car, and once you've done that, you want to make your way inside the building. And we're going to do a spot more climbing. So hit the airlock button along the way. And once you've hit the airlock button, you want to go through the door that is on the left. And you want to climb this ladder to the top. Now this bit can be very, very tricky and very kind of platformery. So head up and then you exit out the airlock again. When you're outside, take a left and you want to go up the stairs. And as you go up the stairs, you want to keep going to the left. As you can see, the tower is about to fall over. You want to jump over the stair gap and you want to keep following it up. And eventually you're going to come into contact with some electrical wires. You want to avoid these. As you come around, you will see another jump. As you've made that jump, you're going to eventually come across a ladder that you need to kind of tightrope walk across. So the character put his arms out and you want to just basically walk up the top of the ladder. You're going to come to more of these kind of heat exhaust vents that you need to navigate your way past. So when they stop pushing out the heat, you want to just jump round to the side. And eventually you have to climb up a ladder. And once you're at the top, you want to use the chair like you did before. This time we're going to point it at the main tower. Now, if everything's gone to plan, you'll bag yourselves the achievement for destroying the battery. So yeah, you pretty much take the laser, you want to point it at the tower. I think I go out about it in the wrong direction. You probably want to go right, but I go to the left. Nonetheless, as long as you get it done within the 30 seconds that you've got left, or however long it is, it's absolutely fine. So turn it around and you want to point it to the kind of the main tower. And once you've done that, you're going to bag yourself 2 achievements. One is story related and the second is for getting the battery crushed by the tower when it falls over. Okay, so for the next collectible, I've paused my game because I was running out of oxygen. But the next collectible is straight after the tower has fallen over. You're going to be in this area where you need to run forward and you're going to find the oxygen tanks that are kind of littered across the floor. Use these as a guideline to get back into the main tower. Once you reach the end, hit the airlock button on the left-hand wall, and once you have done that, you want to go through and you want to use the lift button to go back up into the main area. As you exit out of this area, hit the button on the right hand side to open the airlock again, and we want to take a right and you want to go up the stairs and you want to follow the stairs to the top, and as you're at the top you want to hit the airlock button again to close the door and open up to the next. And on the right hand side you want to follow it around and you want to use this console here, and this is going to automatically trigger the next hologram for you.
The evacuated? No, this can't be right. They can't just leave.
And now if you've been following along, you'll also bag yourself the achievement for completing more dossiers based on the collectibles. Okay, now we're in the final area of the game, so this is the last chapter. You've gotten off the train and you're outside. You want to make a right and you're going to come down into this area here. And if it's not obvious enough, this big blue piece of bridge needs to be scanned. And now, for this next collectible, we want to turn around. A bit of a frame rate issue here. And we want to jump up these boxes that are on the left hand side, and you're going to see this big red removable thing. You can also use the station just there to refuel your oxygen if you need to, but we want to push this canister down the hill, and we want to drag it to the left, and we're going to use that as a way to jump up into the next scannable item. So move it to the left. Once it's moved to the left, jump on top of it, and then jump up into the gap above you. As you're in this area, take a right and you're going to find this scannable item just here, which is this big wheel-like thing. Okay, so now we're in the main lobby of this station. You'll know you're there because you've got this big circular thing right in front of you. And we're going to go for our next collectible, which is a hologram. Head up the stairs, and then just on the left-hand side, you'll be able to find that there for you to watch.
Hold up!
Okay, so for this next collectible, you eventually ended up by this broken control center door after navigating a maze of vicious robots. Take a left and you want to go into the cargo area, and there's an audio log directly in front of you.
Mr. Johansson, wait up!
The control room.
Now the next collectible is in the same area, but this is after you've entered the robot maze for the second time. It's on the right hand side, the audio log, as you go into the sleeping quarters. So pick that one up. And now for our final comic of the game. So make your way down this exactly the same corridor, and on the not the first or the second door, but the third, you'll be able to enter this one here, and there is a comic book directly in front of you. My achievement does not pop here, but if you've been following along, you should get your achievement at this point in time. Our next collectible from that comic book is available to us by turning around and taking a left and then a right into the men's toilets. And make your way to the very far back, and on the right hand side you're going to find another whiteboard for scanning. And for our next collectible, we've got a little bit of a walk to it, but we're going to go from the whiteboard anyway. So turn around and exit back out, and you want to take a left, and you're going to make your way down the corridor. Now you're going to come up on the door here, but you're going to take a right to where the area is sparking. Now I've already unlocked this, but just to show you, this yellow pipe here on the roof. Switch to your robot, and you want to enter this yellow pipe and follow the pipe all the way to the end. And as you exit that pipe, there's a second hole in the floor which you need to go down. And as you enter this area, you want to look around, and you will find a another kind of zapping station for the robot. I have a bit of a hard time finding it. I've already zapped it, but this will be glowing in bright yellow for you. Once you've zapped that, this is going to open this door on the left hand side, just behind you. And as you enter this here, you'll go across to this keypad, and then you want to enter the code 8662. That's going to unlock the door, and then behind that door is your next audio log. So the next hologram is pretty much staring you directly in the face. It is along the main path. As you come into this server room, you pretty much just make your way over to the middle, and you want to click X on it to watch the On the Brink hologram. Now as you've progressed further on, you're going to end up in this lecture theatre with a very big blue screen, and the actual place itself is kind of partially flooded. Make your way down the far left hand stairs, and then you want to make your way up the smaller set of stairs on the other side. Take a right inside of here, and you want to scan the security screens in the back of the room. And our next audio log is not too far away from this one, so turn around and exit back out the same way you came in. Make your way down the stairs and into the water, and as you're walking through the water, make your way to the left and then to the right, and directly in front of you you're going to see your next audio log. Now if you've been following on so far, this is actually the last audio log of the game. You'll get the achievement 30 Gs or the trophy, Lent them in your ears. Now we're going to go on to getting the next missable achievement, which is about some rubber ducks. So from that audio log, make your way into the corridor, and you want to stop by this pipe that's just on the floor on your right hand side. Switch to the robot, and you want to make your way down to water level, and you want to actually push the rubber duck that is at the end of this pipe out, so keep flying forward and knock it outwards. Once you've knocked it out, you want to switch away from being the robot and then back to your guy, and then you want to make your way to the end of the pipe and you want to pick up this duck and make sure you push collect. Once you've got that, you're going to eventually end up in this area here, and we're going to get our next scannable item, and this is along the main path as well, so it's quite difficult to miss. Scan this big red thing hanging out of this circle hole here. Now this is after you've progressed significantly further forward and you've solved the electricity water puzzle to repower the room. You'll see the water is kind of come across with these electrical shocks. Before you exit out to the monorail, you want to backtrack a little bit into the room you were in previously. You'll notice the last scannable is here. Make your way down to the end of this room, take a left, and this door is going to open. And you want to walk into this area where the water is, and you're going to go neck deep in this water. Keep walking through the water, and then eventually as you come into the room and you want to take a look to your right, you're going to see another rubber duck that is floating on the water. And you want to go pick up that rubber duck to get the Aquanaut achievement. And once we are at the monorail station and by this wrecked monorail car, we want to make our way down into the hole that is at the bottom, and on the right hand side we're going to find a very missable scannable item, which is the broken pipe. Now from that broken pipe we want to take a right and we want to look at the train, and we're going to make our way up the hill. I do a little bit of dodgy jumping here just to keep you entertained, but make your way up, and then you want to enter into the train cart itself, and you want to follow the train cart to the end, exit on the left hand side, take a quick right, and you're going to see directly in front of you the next hologram.
Isaac? Hey!
Alex. No one needs to see this.
Okay, and once you've got that hologram, you want to literally take a left from this hologram, and you've got this computer screen here that can be scanned. This is the last item that can be scanned in the game. This will bag you the achievement for scanning all of the items. The Observer, and the Observed is the name of the achievement / trophy. And now for the last missable achievement in this game. Eventually you're going to end up in the main reactor room, where you're charging up this H3 stuff to repower the planet Earth. So once you've gone in and you've the aim is to activate the reactor, take a left, and you're going to notice you're going to get burnt by the heat. You don't want to die. Use the shadow to stay in cover, and you're going to keep making your way around this part of the room, and then keep jumping into the shadows. This achievement is actually missable at this point that we're going to go for. So make your way into the back room, and we're going to hit the button that is at the back of the room, and we're going to start these panels from spinning in the middle. Now these panels are what are going to be keeping you alive, so stay in the shadows to stay out of the heat and you won't get burnt. Make your way to the left, and as you're coming around to the left you're going to see these stairs, and you want to make your way to the top of these stairs, and as you get to the top of these stairs you're going to see the machine in the middle is going to start emitting pulses. You need to stay behind the pillars, and you must avoid the pulse to get the achievement. If you get hit by it once, you will lose your chance to get the achievement. However, if you kill yourself off by getting pulsed at again, it resets the pulses that have hit you, and you'll be able to get the achievement still. So keep making your way around this entire circle of the room, and hide behind each pillar along the way to miss the pulse, and keep following the pathway around until you reach the door. As you get to this end of the section, make a break through it, run through the door, go through the second door to the elevator, and if everything's gone to plan, you'll get yourself the achievement called Now You See Me. And then we're going to go on to our final hologram of the game. This is after you've actually re-established the power on Earth again. This is collectible number 62. You're going to be in this moment where you're getting kind of phased out. You'll be blinking and taking long blinks and it gets dark, but keep following the little robot all the way around until you eventually get to the last set of holograms, and this will also complete the game, so this also ends the game. So once you get to the end, there's a little switch on a cryo chamber, hit the button and the achievement for finding all the holograms are yours. That is the last collectible. I have been Jurassic from the Achievement Squad. If you find this guide useful, drop us a like, comment and subscribe, and happy hunting!